It's with great pleasure that I welcome upstage this afternoon Mr. Yemi Faseun for his session. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. Okay. Thank you, Lola. Thank you, Taiwo. And while if you're still listening, thank you to you too. Great to see everyone. Second time now in this place, and I was looking forward to it this year when Emmanuel mentioned to me that we will be talking. Sincerely, there is a problem that I have right now. Can I share it with you? I already feel too tall, and then I'm on an elevated stage. If I had my way, I'll be standing there. So just bear with me. Personal branding and networking. I'm going to be saying some things that some people will not like. Let me just appeal to you up front. You may go to LinkedIn and delete our connection after now. It's not impossible. Get ready for it. Now, if you look at this picture, how many people can relate with this picture since 2019? Anybody here? Koride, you can. Taiwo, you can. Ginosco, yes, you can. I am, Chiriogo, you can. I am constantly, at least once a week, and I'm not exaggerating, once a week under prayer, under pressure to change this. Even Taiwo puts me under pressure to say, Yemi, change this picture. It's what? It's old. But the logo of EY, Lola, when was the last time it was changed? Year 2000. How many years ago? 23 years ago. Name any brand. If you want to buy an Apple product, without you typing APPLE, what are you looking for? What are you looking for? You are looking for, but if you see the bite that is bigger than the normal apple, what do you say? You know that that's a fake one, isn't it? That is because the brand has been related to certain features, to certain values, to certain benefits. So we're talking about personal branding and how to build it. And I don't know why I was set up to do this, because I'm not a branding or personal branding coach. I actually don't like to talk about it, so that will not go online. Because I don't think that there is a particular 7 steps in 21 days to build a personal brand. And that's what you get these days. And guess what? They'll charge you 250,000 naira to do that. And then I'll see many people struggling to put that money together because they want to build a personal brand. You can't build a personal brand that is sustainable until you have embedded your fundamentals. Should I say that again? You can't build a sustainable personal brand until you've embedded your fundamentals. And your fundamentals will go through a process. It's not going to happen overnight. Nobody builds a personal brand overnight. Please do not think that because of the availability of data now, or because it is commoditized and almost free, then we can circumvent process and build a brand because everything is social. Because we're in a social revolution, and I can make myself available to almost 1 million people right now, YouTube, IG, and all that. Let's not therefore think that that is the route to building a personal brand. I have scripted some things over a couple of years, and I'll be sharing some of them with you around building a personal brand and also networking. These are things based on my own experiences and the experiences of other people. So the first thing I say is this: personal brand is not about filters. It's not about fine graphics. There's somebody here in this auditorium who is a great graphics guy, and he wants to do graphics for me every time, and he's always hounding me. Yeah, me, YF, let's do this, let's do that. But that's really not personal branding. It's not about the filters that you can get. You know what I say to young men? And I did say this to them on the Wife Academy recently. If you want to toast, woo, speak with a lady, don't do that based on the picture that you see on the Instagram these days. Go back to Facebook and check their picture 10 years ago. That will tell you the true story. Because everything, I told you you won't be happy with some things. That's number one. Some ladies are not really happy with me. Everybody is fair now. We don't see dark girls on Instagram anymore. Am I right, guys? Everybody is yellow. Because we do what to the pictures? We filter. That's not personal branding. I'm touching some nerves, right? But that's the reality. Sincerely, I'm not exaggerating. I have seen people at events like this. They greeted me and we connected, and then we started talking again, maybe on LinkedIn or WhatsApp eventually, and I see them at the next event, and I just greet them and waka pass, and they're pulling me back. Why? If it is me, Chidima, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. The picture that I have in my mind is Oyibo, but you're as black as TDA right now, so I don't know what the difference is, but that's the reality. I'm being serious on every of your touch points. Be careful that you are not over editing yourself. It's not about personal branding, it's not about the filters. It's not about glitz, it's not about glamour. Sincerely. Taiwo said something, or was it Allah who said something about, I think it was Taiwo, those who are highly successful, they actually don't make a lot of noise. Hype is one thing, making noise is another thing. And I've found out that both hype and noise, believe me, they don't last for too long if they are not resting on the fundamentals. So the fundamentals are extremely important. So first build credibility through a process, then you will become an authentic brand. It will not happen overnight. You first have to be, those things that you try to do online because of availability of data or your connectedness or number of followers, believe me, they may just become a flash in the pan if you don't sustain it by being credible. So first be credible before you start to build an authentic brand. We cannot Photoshop value. Value cannot be Photoshopped. Because really, we all see through these things every day, don't we? We do. So you can't Photoshop value. Value is value. It is seen. People must feel it. People must enjoy it. People must be at the receiving end of the value that you give, not the value that you say you give. They're two different things. So you can't Photoshop value. You can't filter impact. And you can't short-circuit your process. So don't try to be who you are not because of the availability of social media. Being present on social media literally every day is not the same thing as building a personal brand. As a matter of fact, can I tell you the truth? It is eroding your value. Do you remember at the beginning of this year when Naira was scarce? What made it scarce? It wasn't available. If you want to be very valuable, what should you do? Who said that? Thank you. If you actually want to be invaluable, i.e. extremely valuable, it is not by being there every time. It's not by saying this is who I am, this is what I've done, and all that. First go into quiet, dark corners and build a credible brand over a period of time. And guess what? Even if you're in a dark corner, the people who have felt your value and impact, they're the ones who will drag you out. Am I making sense? Personal branding is not who we say we are. Remember the example of Jesus when he was asking his disciples. What did he ask them? Who do men say I am? He didn't know what he was talking about or who he was. He knew who he was. But he just wanted to know what people thought about him. And what did people say? Elias, Moses. But somebody said something that was a qualifier of value, of impact, of significance. So it is not about who you say you are. I totally believe that we shouldn't be in the dark and wink if you have value to give. But please be sure first that you have what? Value to give. So don't announce yourself. Let me put it this way. Don't just announce yourself. Let the world announce you based on what you bring to the proverbial table. And that is when you start building a personal brand. Be an original. Be a differentiated brand. If we open social media today, everybody is the same thing. If you go to LinkedIn, some people just open LinkedIn, and once they see 2 or 3 posts, they run back because people are transformational agents. Global HR leader. They haven't worked in any global company. What else? What else do we see? Strategist. 3-year work experience has become a strategist. Even me, I'm still an aspiring strategist. Experienced thought leader, that's the common one. Thought leader is number 1. Oh. They now become, or maybe we should give them a grade now, senior thought leader. Don't be in a hurry to announce yourself. Be an original, be a differentiated brand. And let there be a correlation between what you call yourself and what people call you. There has to be a correlation. Otherwise, that means that your brand is diluted. So I'm laying emphasis on the fundamentals, and guess what? You are not even focusing on building a brand. You are focusing on embedding the fundamentals, and what do you see as the outcome? You become a brand. Don't spend money to become a brand that you are not. Spend time to stay in quiet places to embed your fundamentals towards becoming a differentiated brand. So be differentiated. Let people just know you. No. If there are some brands, once you see their logo or their name, you know what they're about. I can see Great Place to Work. I can see Credit Direct from where I stand now. There is EY, there is KPMG, there is, what other brand? Apple, like we said. Those brands stand for something, and those things have been associated with them over a period of time. When you see EY, the logo has been there for 20 years, right? Or 23 years, and they haven't changed it. You go online and you change your picture every day on LinkedIn. At the end of the day, people don't even know who you are anymore. You change your profile as well every time. You know the top line profile. You change it literally on a monthly basis. Once you get another certification, yes, I have to announce myself to the world. I am happy to announce. And then when you are happy to announce in the body of the letter, you go to the top line and you change it again. Because you did introduction to strategy, you have become a master strategist. And when you now go for an interview when they're expecting you to talk about master strategy, you are saying, you see, you know, you understand. There is no correlation between who we say we are and who we really are. So be you, do you. Everyone else is taken. Avoid the comparison trap when you are building a brand. Don't be too much in a hurry to build a brand. It will come. It will come as an offshoot of your process. Not necessarily something you pay money or you focus on. It will come as an offshoot of your process. Do you know that it's in the little things that you do on a daily basis that you become a brand eventually? Lola talked about entrepreneurship. It is when you don't say like every other person would say, is it my father's business? At 4:59, I am shutting down. At 5 o'clock, laptop, everything in the bag, and I'm going home. It's not my father's business. Or your manager or your supervisor or somebody calls you and says, please do something for me, and it is 4:45, and you are saying, oh, that thing is not in my JD. You are building a brand. Something that you should turn around in 3 days or 4 days at work today, and we are chasing you and following up, and 1 week after, 2 weeks after, you are still saying, I'm working on it. What are you doing? You are building a brand. It will all come back to the perception of you, and what else is stronger than reality? Perception. So on your daily interaction, by being excellent in the things that is in your hand. Yes, I know that you are focused on becoming a master strategist, but when you are still learning the ropes, right? Do those things excellently well. Be a Chief Excellence Officer, CEO, in your little space. Don't wait until you get the title of CEO before you become a CEO. Be excellent in the little things. What you have in your hands today is extremely important in leading you to building a differentiated brand. Brands are not built overnight. We had 20 years. If you go to, I used to work with Arthur. That logo, Arthur was there for decades before they changed to KPMG around 2002, 2003. Right? That's about 20 years ago, and they've built the brands over a long period of time. Brands don't show up overnight. At times, brands are like the planted seed. Where does it go first? Where does it go first? When you plant a seed, where does it go? It goes into the ground. For a long period of time, do you see anything? You don't see anything. But what do you do to it on a daily basis? You water it, you nurture it, your garden, you tender it, and after a while, what happens? It sprouts. Can you circumvent that process and say, I want my yam tomorrow, so I'm going to do something and all that so that it can start giving me seeds tomorrow? Does it happen? If life is a process, personal branding is also a process. Go through your process, and data will not allow you to circumvent process. Social media will not allow you. As a matter of fact, what you will do, if you spend more time on building a personal brand rather than embedding the fundamentals, you'll be doing what Taiwo said we shouldn't do, which is to put ourselves under profile pressure. So don't put yourself, our journeys are different. We're at Gbagada now. If I want to go to Ibadan, there are options available to get to Ibadan. I know about 3 at least to get to Ibadan from where we are right now. Am I right? And that's because for every individual on this journey towards building a personal brand, ultimately there are options. So be careful that you are building your own option, but it will take a process. Whatever is in your hands, whatever your hands finds to do, please do it well. That's part of your brand building process. Do it well. And I must say that we had differentiated brands up here a couple of minutes ago. 3 individuals, 3 different brands. If somebody is going to write a story about all 3 of them, I'm sure we'll write different things about them. Are they the same? And guess what? That is because they came upstairs with all their experiences totally different. Right? Maybe background, maybe the jobs they have done, maybe their exposure, maybe skills and development, like Wale said, maybe personal development, maybe becoming entrepreneurs and all that, but they all came up showing up as different brands. But I promise you that what we saw in 2 minutes or 3 minutes of elevator pitch from each individual is a function of how they have journeyed up till this moment. So be careful. Now, let me go to networking. Networking is another area where I think we should be careful. Once you become a zone of value, networking becomes easy. I see many people trying to network every time, every event, trying to meet people and all that good. But guess what? You can turn things around by becoming a zone of value. And what will happen? People actually want to be in your space, rather than you looking to be in other people's space. So be a zone of value. On a daily basis, what you should ask yourself before you go to bed is, what value have I added to my ecosystem today? And what value have I added to myself? So be a zone of value first. Even if you want to network with other people, always have it at the back of your mind that it is not what you want to get out of it, it is what you want to give into that relationship. Network is not just who you know, it is also who knows you. We tend to think it's about the number of connections on LinkedIn or Instagram. I hear people buy followers on Instagram. Is that correct? Somebody said to me that I think they might have moved that to LinkedIn as well, where you can buy followers. I don't know. But to what intent and purpose? To what end, really? So that other people can open your page and they'll see that you have 300,000 followers. Question is, what value is that bringing to your ecosystem? If it's not real, then it cannot last. Networking is primarily what you can give rather than what you can get, like I said. Let's not focus on the number of connections, but on the quality of our connectedness. Let's not focus on the number of connections, but on the quality of our connectedness. So it's not about how many people I'm connected with. It is how many people am I connected with in a deeper way, to the point where they will be the ones who will be my sponsors or my mentors or somebody who will mention my name when I'm not in the room. Working with a client right now, looking for HR manager, I didn't have to post anything anywhere. I just looked into my network. I spoke with Tawe about it. We put CVs together, about 11 people, and they've gone through the interview. Not just because they know us, but also because we know them from a value perspective. Sign on to Quality Networks. This is a great network, I must say. Stay within an ecosystem that gives you quality output. You can't, I hear a lot of, I am more than enough, or I am enough. I hear a lot of that these days. Let me shake that table, you are not enough. If you were enough, you wouldn't even be here this morning. If you're all enough by yourself, but that person sitting next to you, you need them. That person sitting at the back you are going to meet later today, you need them. So make sure that you are in solid quality networks where you are not just receiving. You are not just like the sponge. No, don't just receive. You must also do what? You must also give. So please invest in quality networks, because ultimately they yield great dividends. I always try to give the example. I've worked in 13 organizations, and I applied for the first 2 on the pages of newspapers, but the next 10 were all referrals. Referrals from people within a network that we built over the years. So be careful. There is a strong affinity between building a personal brand and how you network as well. A very, very strong relationship. So be careful who you are becoming, and be careful also how you are relating with other people within an ecosystem. Network effectively so that your guardian angels will be the ones to announce you. Don't be too much in a hurry to announce yourself. The name that I carry around a lot today is YF. I didn't give myself that name. The guy who gave me that name might be listening to us right now. His name is Sheriff Popola. I was at Etisalat. I know this Yoruba culture thing. I told everybody to call me Yemi, but they wouldn't. If I should call you Yemi, even my daddy at home would beat me. That's not how we treat elders and all that. So he found a way, after a long time, to break the ice by calling me YF. And this must have been in 2013 or 2014. Till today, he's always still asking me, YF, you know you owe me royalty on that name. You know why? YF has become not just my name, but a brand. It's become the name of my organization that I run, YF Talent Partners. It's become the name of a leadership network that I have, the YF Network. It's become the mentorship academy that I have, the YF Academy, TYFA. So it's YFTP, TYFA, TYFN, all linked to the fact that somebody saw that there must be some value in calling you YF. So who's going to announce you? What value are you building on a daily basis? Please, guys, be careful in getting carried away with the things around you. You need moments to yourself. There's a book that I read when I was in school. I studied English. Far from the maddening crowd. The crowd is getting more maddening on a daily basis because of the advent of technology and social media. You still need moments to remove yourself and retrospect a lot about how you are building a personal brand and also how you network. Thank you very much.